Christmas Carol, Stave 3. By the time the ghost of Christmas present arrives, Scrooge is changing. Dickens tells us that he is no longer the dogged Scrooge he had been. Moreover, he doesn't resist this spirit, but looks at him reverently. And what a figure this new ghost is. More is said about him in the Christmas Ghost character video, but, like the Ghost of Christmas Past, his physical description is full of allegorical meaning. He literally personifies Christmas, at least to the 1843 readership. Like his predecessor, the ghost takes Scrooge on a journey to visit many places. This time, though, none of the scenes are directly about Scrooge, but about those either close to him, family, Fred, work, Bob, and those who are on the margins of society, the sick, poor, prisoners, the isolated. The common thread running through all of them is that the Christmas spirit rules supreme, and it's got nothing to do with wealth. Remember that Scrooge thinks Christmas is a waste of money because it doesn't make you an hour richer. The two central scenes are the Christmas parties. Dickens juxtaposes these celebrations deliberately to present how Fred and Bob are rich in love, surrounded by family and friends. The two men are also linked by a forgiving and generous nature when they both toast Scrooge over the misgivings of others. An echo of Stave 1, when Bob spontaneously applauds Fred's mini-speech about the good of Christmas in Stave 1. In particular, the detailed description of the Cratchit family meal is a highlight of the novel, and it's here that Dickens drives home the point to his affluent readers that the poor need help and deserve support. He achieves this aim through the pointed references to the meagre dinner, which would have still been the best meal of the year for the Cratchits, and the figure of Tiny Tim. Despite the fact that young children were sent to work and many didn't attend school, the Victorians still sentimentalised childhood. Dickens unashamedly uses Tim to evoke sympathy and pity for the plight of the poor and disabled. He certainly has his effect on the moved Scrooge, whose earlier heartless words about the poor are flung back in his face in one of the story's more bitter and deeply ironic moments. This foreshadows Stave's ending, which also marks a turning point in the novel's move from one of jollity tinged with sadness and melancholy to a much darker and disturbed tone. The end of the Stave is very important in understanding Dickens' purposes in writing A Christmas Carol. The ghost shows Scrooge ignorance and want, and this is the point where the plot becomes its most overtly political. There's more on the politics in the Society video, but the essential point is that Dickens wants us to start taking notice and caring for the poor, particularly the young, and especially in terms of their education. It is nothing less than the moral duty of those of us who are well off. If nothing is done, then, the ghost warns, the future is one of doom, that is to say, unrest and revolution of the kind that had, and would, happen in other European countries. On this appropriately apocalyptic note, the solemn final Christmas ghost drifts into view.